Business Connections, a program of the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm Holly Allen, Director of Marketing and Communications for the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce. No one knows better about what Dayton does, the innovation that Dayton is based upon, and our business community is working on innovative ideas, groundbreaking ideas every single day. Today we'll be taking a look at one of those businesses. In mid-April, the Chamber held its annual meeting, which was held at the Sinclair Conference Center this year. You're looking at a photo there. And during that meeting, Soin, who is the benefactor of our annual Soin Award, named this year's winner Nona Composites. And Nona received a check, a big check there, for $25,000. And of course, valuable exposure for what they're doing. The Soin Award is meant for a business showing true innovation, and Nona is doing that right here in the Miami Valley. So joining me from Nona is Ben Deach. He is the president of Nona Composites, Patrick Hood, the CEO of Nona, and from the Chamber, Stephanie Precht, who's our Director of Public Policy and Economic Development. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. Congratulations, first of all, to both of you. This is a big win.
Yes, it is.
Ben,
Yes, it is.
Tell me, what was the reaction when you got the word?
Well, we're very excited. It's great to be recognized for what we're trying to do, not only in the area, but just in general with the technology. And so it was a really exciting moment for our young company.
When you got the big check.
That's right.
Nothing better than a big check, right?
A big check.
That's right. So. This is the second year Nona has applied for this award. So tell me, what do you think was different this year?
Well, one of the things I know that was different was we had a lot more sales. And so we had a track record of getting product out into the market, customer feedback, really understanding how we fit in and how we delivered value to the composites community. And so that was the biggest difference. And that value and that understanding of how people were perceiving it and how it helped them do business better, deliver products better, was really, I think, one of the big contributing factors to making the difference this year.
We'll get into detail about what the cool innovation is that you're doing here in a minute. But Stephanie, tell us about the judging process and how this all comes about.
Right. So the Soin Award for Innovation started out in 2007. It was part of the Chamber's 100th anniversary that year. And we've been doing the award ever since with the generous donation endowment of the Soin family. And so since then, we meet every year. We open the application typically in late December, early January. And it's an outreach to all of our members as well as any company in the region that is doing innovative work. And so, you know, as you guys know, you applied for this award last year, and really what Ben highlighted is exactly, you know, what the judging came up with was the idea that we need to highlight the innovations that are going on, but we also need to show those companies that are able to take it to market. And that piece that was different this year and really showing some of those sales, I think really spoke to the judges and how do we translate that technology into growing jobs in our region. And so that was the piece that the judges really highlighted this year. But every year we get so many great applications, and so the judging is always, you know, very difficult. We got some great applicants this year, but we reach out to a lot of our partners in the community, the Entrepreneur Center, the Small Business Development Center, and some of our colleges in the region, and really ask them to come in and help us figure out what they're looking for, what the top contenders should be. And so we have that first round of judging, and then we bring them in for an in-person final round to kind of show their product in person. And so that's really where Nona shined this year. And I think at the end of the day, it was unanimous, and the judges really said that this was the company that we want to recognize. So.
Yeah, so we have some show and tell here today.
Absolutely.
We want to take a look, though, at the video that was produced. This was part of the winning of the Soin Award. Skydeck Studios produced a video that really explains the innovation that Nona Composites is doing that helped them win the 2015 Soin Award.
Hi, I'm Soin, Chairman of Soin International. The Dayton area has a rich history of innovation and entrepreneurship, and is the home of some of the world's leading innovators, such as the Wright brothers, John Patterson, and Charles Kettering. The Dayton Chamber of Commerce started Soin Award for Innovation on its 100th anniversary in 2007. It was to recognize and honor a regional company that demonstrates this community spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation. As an entrepreneur myself, I believe that majority of the jobs are created by small businesses started by innovative ideals of entrepreneurially minded individuals. It is the persistence, creativity, and optimistic attitude of these individuals that allows many of them to go on and create thriving businesses.
This year's winner is no exception as we recognize Nona Composites as the 2015 recipient of the Soin Award for Innovation.
Soin International and Soin family are very pleased to continue to support and be involved in recognizing the innovative companies and the entrepreneurs of the Miami Valley region.
Nona Composites is a very exciting technology. It's a spin-out from Cornerstone Research Group, which I founded in 1997 with really the ultimate vision of creating technology-based businesses that can be turned into products and services.
We make the stuff that helps other people make composite products larger, faster, and with more operational flexibility. Composite materials are used today all over. They're already being used in wind turbine blades. They're being used in all kinds of spacecraft. Some of our early customers wanted ways to make very large composite materials, but all of the methods that have currently been in existence were going to be too expensive to really do what they wanted to do.
There's a definite need to be able to make these composite parts very affordable. If you look at a composite bicycle frame, it costs $1,000 a pound. Why does it cost so much? A lot of it is in the tooling, how you make it, the labor that's required.
And what we've come up with is something that really is probably one of the most innovative methods in composites manufacturing in the last 40 years.
Well, when Nona started, it was really just sort of a pipe dream. Everybody was real excited about what was happening with out-of-autoclave composites. It's a move to get away from big, heavy infrastructure. It's a move to get away from equipment that ties you to a single location. And we took it a step further and said, well, what if you got rid of the oven too? Nobody even thought that was possible because at the end of the day, in order to make a composite part, you have to get heat into it somehow to cure the resin. And so getting rid of the oven was something that was really revolutionary, and a lot of people have branded as crazy.
So we designed a resin system that can use the chemical energy within the resin in the composite to actually cure it to a high state of cure with very high performance.
So the chemistry of the resin brings all of the heat that is necessary to make the finished part.
So when you look at size, speed, reduction in capital infrastructure, these are the advantages that the Nona resin system and the Nona process really brings to the industry.
That means a lot of different things. That means you can make things larger than you normally would. That means you can make things faster than you normally would because you don't have to wait for the equipment to do its job.
And we're trying to make composites manufacturing more accessible to everyone, kind of lowering the barrier to entry, making it easier, making it a little bit more accessible, so that folks that right now would think metal is my only option, maybe they'll consider composites.
Winning the Soin Award is very important to our company. Cash in the early stage is always a good thing, but almost more importantly is the recognition that it shows to the team and to our business model and the community that says we're able to launch a company based on high technology in an affordable way, quickly get it up and going and be able to make impact in both the community as well as other industries.
The fact that it brings a lot of awareness within the Dayton community and also a broader audience, because that makes other people want to take a closer look and believe in us too. And that's invaluable. You can't buy that.
It's also exciting to be doing some advanced manufacturing in Dayton, Ohio. We really pride ourselves on being innovative in this town. Some of the founders and pioneers of the advanced composites work that was done at the Air Force Base, those people are from Dayton, Ohio, and that work was done here. It's really exciting to be part of that community and be part of that history. We're really taking a lot of the strengths of the area and bringing them to market and leveraging what we have here locally to bring something that we think is going to have an international impact.
That was a look at the very innovative things going on at Nona Composites, and Ben brought some of those little show and tell items for us today, some of the things we saw in the video. So tell us about exactly what you're doing. I know the video explains some of it, but what did you bring for us today?
Sure. I brought some of our packaging of our resin systems, and really the resin is the key to this manufacturing process. This gives you an example of just what this stuff looks like. It can be thin, it can be runny, it can be somewhat thick. We have a couple different variants, but this just gives you an idea of a product that we produce. And then a manufacturer, and we also do some part manufacturing ourselves, would combine this resin with an engineering fabric. So this is an example of carbon fiber fabric, and you can see it's very flexible. But when you combine it with the resin, typically composite manufacturing companies will have to use the oven. They'll have to use the autoclave to put that heat, to put that pressure on it. We've got all that heat packaged in the chemistry, like we mentioned in the video. When you have that heat happen within the fabric itself, you end up with a structural part. And so you can see this part is very hard, very rigid, but it's also lightweight. Gives all the benefits of composite products that people like, but takes some of that time, takes some of that manufacturing cost out of the equation. And as a result, more people can use the composite materials to get those benefits. And we're hoping that because we sell the resin, more people can get into that industry. More manufacturers can say, hey, I can take the risk here to put a new product in my offering to give my customers something new. So we're actively out there saying, hey, we can show you how to use this product. We can teach you. You can do this. You don't have to make big investments to put out a new high-performance, high-quality product.
So it's just looking for the applications
that
would, creative applications. I'm sure there are many ways to use this.
That's right.
How much time are they saving being able to bypass the autoclave in the oven?
Right. For one customer's scenario, we were able to save them almost 90% of the time it typically took them to make a part. Yeah. And so in their situation, they were looking to add another building, another oven, and when they looked at what we were able to offer, it really changed the game for them, and said they didn't really have to make any more major investment. They just had to make product faster, and we helped them be able to do that with the resin system. And
it's lightweight, and I think, Patrick, in the video you mentioned, is it less expensive to do?
The total cost of manufacturing. So you have to look, and one of the things that we do before I launch a business or even head down and do the development is look at the business case. And most people look at, how do I make my product cheaper? What we do is we look at, how do you deliver the product in a more affordable way or less expensive.
Right.
So in this case, the resin is really, it's made of the same base products that are available to anybody to make a resin system. The carbon is the cost of carbon. We aren't impacting the cost of material. So it's pretty much the same price for the raw materials. However, the way we design the resin allows us to eliminate time, other manufacturing steps, touch time on tools, cost of tools that they would use to make parts. And so that's how we're able to deliver that added value. And that 90% reduction in the cost of time is directly related to the cost of manufacturing their products, so they can now offer them at a much lower, they either make a better margin or they can offer them at a lower price, or open up new markets that couldn't have afforded $1,000 a pound bicycle frame or whatever.
Right. As I imagine when you're talking manufacturing, money, or time rather, is everything, because the more you can create product, the more money you're making, the faster you can do it.
Absolutely. And it creates a much more flexible environment as well. So the ability to have just a blank floor, and now you can go from manufacturing car hoods to bicycles to airplane wings, and you don't need anything significantly different for those very different looking manufacturing processes. So it allows you to install capacity when you need capacity and then draw down and go do something else. So it also provides manufacturing flexibility, which is really where the Dayton innovation and the ability to produce things affordably and on demand, that's where the next revolution in manufacturing is coming.
Absolutely. We mentioned, or you mentioned in the video, that this is a spin-off of Cornerstone. Can you talk about how this all came about? What was the
spin-off process has been a long and oftentimes painful process. But I'm originally from the West Coast and have been in the Dayton area since '92, and so when I came here, I had the vision of being able to create new businesses, and it's quite difficult. There's a lot of things in business models that have to change, and technology isn't a product. There's a huge amount of technology in the Nona resin, just as there is a huge amount of technology in a cell phone. But people don't buy the technology. They buy the purpose or the use of the value that it delivers. And so we do the science and the engineering and bringing the chemists and the manufacturing engineers and the mechanical engineers all together to solve a problem, to create both technology and targeting some value. But then we have to somehow flip that around and create a business around it to deliver that value. And that's the process that we work in internally and have come up with a business model to be able to satisfy. And Nona is one of those businesses that we've launched, and part of that model is to identify a key leader who can focus and sell and deliver the product, and let the back office of Cornerstone help them out while they're getting going.
So what's next for Nona? Are you working on other innovations, or can you tell us?
Yeah. No. Actually, this week we won a large award from NASA to develop some of our next generation products.
Wow,
so we're very
that's
excited
fantastic.
about that. That was a result of an early stage program that we did last year. It was a competitive process to win the next phase of that, and so that'll be a 2-year program, and we'll probably get multiple products out of that. Also be able to reach a lot more people, not only helping to solve NASA's problem, but part of the program is to really commercialize the technology. So as part of that, we'll be reaching out to industry, which is really going to allow us to not only talk about our current products, but also those future products and get those in the pipeline for acceptance and use. So we're very excited about those next-gen developments that we were recently funded for.
That's great. It doesn't stop here.
Yeah, no,
That's
we'll be
great.
around. So.
Well, and you mentioned that. What's the history in the Dayton region, and what is the future, and what does it mean to be in an area that's known for innovation? Does that kind of give you the motivation to continue doing what you're doing? Patrick, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So the history is, Cornerstone, I started in '97, and so we have a long history, and the organization of the company is such where we really do a lot of community service and are very involved. The other nice thing about being in Dayton that is really valuable is that there's a lot of really high quality technical people. We got the best universities in the region and fantastic young people with great work ethic that have high integrity, and you don't find that everywhere in the country. And so a lot of these people also want to stay in this region. They want to be close to family, and there aren't a lot of companies that are really driving high technology and offering the things that people usually associate with Silicon Valley or Boston in terms of go do a high tech and be in a startup and make things happen. So we actually get the opportunity to attract, without a lot of competition, very high quality engineers, scientists, business people into our organization who can help make these things go. And so that's the region, I think, is ideal for people to start high tech and have access to the resources, especially the human capital that is found here that you don't have to compete very hard for, that you would somewhere else.
That's great. And we love having you here.
Thank you.
Stephanie, I'm sure that you see a lot of, I mean, you know, judging for the Soin Award, I'm sure you see a lot of really great, innovative things going on in this region.
Absolutely.
You talk about the volume of...
Yeah, I mean, every year we're sort of blown away by what's happening, because you hear about these things, and I know we talked to a lot of people at the annual meeting. This was the first time that they've heard about Nona. And it's just, you know, such a thrill to talk about a company like this that exists in Dayton, that's growing in Dayton. And, you know, we see more and more applications every year of companies that are doing similar things. But I did want to highlight just one thing that I thought set Nona apart from some of the other applications, was just the sense of teamwork and problem solving. When the team came in to give the presentation, there was just such passion talking about you know, what they were doing. And I think that really is what we want to celebrate, that the passion of the entrepreneur, the passion of the innovator. And Nona did such an excellent job conveying that. And so I think obviously it speaks today, but is really going to serve the company into the future.
Well, I want to thank you all for being with us today and sharing what you're doing. Congratulations again, the 2015 Soin Award winning. This is the 9th annual, correct?
That's right.
So we'll start looking again in early next year for
right.
applications for the Soin Award.
Yep.
So if you're doing something great out there, keep that in mind. Mark your calendar. Nona Composites, we want to thank you, and thanks for being with us in Business Connections. Dayton Chamber, you want to check us out at daytonchamber.org and on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Have a great one.
Today's program highlights one of our region's most innovative companies, Nona Composites, LLC. Nona recently received the Chamber's and Region's Soin Award for Innovation for its commercialization of technology using composite materials and using processes that make the end products easier to manufacture. Our region, stimulated by research started at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, has seen a number of new companies formed over the last decade that use materials which are stronger and lighter than their traditional counterparts, yet can be cast or formed into shapes that can be used for a variety of components for aerospace, marine, oil and gas, as well as automotive applications. Nona has succeeded in developing cutting-edge processes that use no external heating or pressure sources to mold and cure its end-use products. This process can and will have dozens, no hundreds of application uses, and Nona and its team of leaders will use their knowledge and experience to grow this young entrepreneurial business and grow jobs right here in the Miami Valley. We hope you've enjoyed today's program and congratulate Nona Composites on its innovative design, uses, and manufacturing of new age composite materials.